Good afternoon from DMC New Broadcast. Today we have two amazing official guests from two different countries, which are Brunei and East Timor. But first, we will look at Brunei Darussalam. About our space as it is a critical midpoint in its national transformation. As many of us know, Brunei has had economic success throughout the decade thanks to their natural resources. But they are conscious that they cannot rely on oil and gas forever. That's why they developed the Wawasan Brunei 2035 vision. Joining us now is one of the key figures who have implemented that vision, the Minister of Finance and Economy, Minister Stonta. So, Minister Stonta, can you tell us about the blueprint and the vision of Brunei Wawasan 2035?
So, Wawasan Brunei 2035 has been built since 2008, and it has been developed until 2035. And the purpose of building it is to build the high quality of life and to build a highly educational system. And the third one, of course, is to build a sustainable economic system. So our countries, as you know, is heavily relies on oil and gas, but we still want to build a more structured and how could I say it, a strategic plan to overcome and to have a reputation not only as an oil country, but a country that is built with strategic plan and structured plan.
So, when you thought of priority sector with vision, how did you choose them?
When we first look at our strategy, you can tell that our country is an oil country basically, but now we take a leap of forward. And now we're moving toward downstream activities, and we try not to relying only on raw export. So now we do that particularly to build more jobs for our citizens. And secondly, we also look at economic trends. So we preserve our way of doing things to develop, but at the same time, we still open doors for investors and opportunities, and we also building our country upon trends, especially economic, so to speak.
Oh, I see. You and Australia have a Thai partnership together. So, what do you think you and Australia can do together as a friend through free trade agreement?
Well, that is a great question because Australia has been our close friend, and also we also share a Thai partnership economically. So first, engaging with countries like Australia help us to gain access to larger market. And why it helps us that way? Because it helps us to get access to investor directly. And also another crucial point is that it helps build our capacity building. So what do I mean by capacity building? I think, well, you can think of educational system, of course, infrastructure development, and it helps us to turn ourselves to a strategic partner, and also to fostering a stable and sustainable and prosperous regional economy.
Moving forward, after gaining independence in 2002, East Timor had reached its historic milestone on October 26, 2025, marking a new era for Southeast Asia diplomacy. As a full Asian member, East Timor is now unlocking access to a massive regional market and attracting foreign investment. The goal is clear: to move away from oil dependency and build diversified, modern economy that serve its young, dynamic population. Being here with us now is the Minister of East Timor. So, Minister Sonari, can you tell us more about the Timor Strategic Development Plan?
Yes, the Strategy Development Plan, or SDP, is more than an economic policy. It is our national roadmap that helps East Timor to become an upper middle income country by 2030. As you know, our wealth came from undersea sources like oil and gas for 20 years. But right now we are shifting our focus to the sea itself by developing blue economy using our 700-kilometer coastline for sustainable fishing, and especially we are positioning ourselves as a regional hub through the new Tipape port, which connects the Asian trade routes with the Pacific. Beyond the water, we are focusing on potential tourism, high potential tourism. We are looking for mass tourism, but the SDP focuses on low impact, high value travelers that are interested in world-class diving, trekking, and cultural heritage. And finally, we are moving from subsistence farming to commercial agriculture that exports our world-class organic coffee, cacao, and vanilla to the Asian market.
Oh, I see. This plan is very interesting. And may I know if your country has gotten any investor on this project yet?
Actually, the investment landscape is moving quite rapidly after we became a member of the Asian community. And the investors are much, including international, regional, and domestic capital. Majority organizations like the Asian Development Bank and the World Bank are already our primary investor in foundation infrastructures, specifically for the Tipape port and the coastal water system. And for Asian member, we have seen high interest from Singapore and Indonesia. Especially Singapore is even supporting us in vocational education to train our youth in this new role. And of course, the largest investor is our petroleum funds, that we are using it as a bridge to kickstart solar energy and agriculture sustainable.
It sounds great for this information, and I hope East Timor will get more investors too. This is also a strong debate in transforming from oil market, right? And so, how do you respond to this concern?
Of course, it is a strong debate, but a necessary one. Oil is finished, and our current field is depleting. So, if we wait until the oil dry, we will fail our people. Even oil creates wealth for the state, but the blue economy and agriculture create jobs for the 60% of our population.
Thanks to both our guests for their valuable insight. It is an honor to be here interviewing with ministers of the both countries. It is clear that Brunei and East Timor face the similar challenges. They are taking bold strategic steps forward, sustainable future. And that's all for DMC News broadcast today. Thank you for watching DMC News, and we will see you for the next Tuesday.